Welcome to the BCIT Passive House video series. I'm Joe Galouche and I'll be your host as we walk you through the construction of this passive home on this property right here in beautiful West Vancouver.
Hi, my name is James Dean. I'm building a passive house in West Vancouver, British Columbia. What was important was to have a comfortable home. So comfortable in the sense that it just felt comfortable in terms of temperature and humidity levels and no drafts and noises. A home that was cost effective. We've got a budget, wanted to stay within it. Wanted a home that was energy efficient. That was really important to us. And as we looked at the passive house standard, it seemed to fit that.
Well, James, because he's in the industry, is pretty set on having an energy efficient home. So what he originally told me, we talked about LEED certified, etc., but he was pretty determined to do a passive home. And so I did a little bit of research and I looked online and looked at passive homes and I said, no way, because, they just look like a big block with, small windows. And but he said, Jan, it doesn't have to be that way, that we can design a beautiful home, a beautiful passive home.
My wife and I bought the house on Radcliffe back in 2001. So we lived in the house now for 16 years. Love the neighborhood. So we've got a beautiful beach in front of us, Pacific Ocean in front of us, Cypress Mountain behind us, but have never really loved the house. Never really was an energy efficient home. So yeah, we decided that originally we were going to renovate the home to passive house standards, and then after speaking with a few people, decided we'd probably better off to build new.
So this particular passive house is approximately 4,100 square feet, 4 bedrooms, and sits on a 50 by 140 lot. In order to meet the stringent requirements of the passive house certification, this particular home posed some very interesting design challenges.
I guess our first response in looking at the plans and drawings was that this doesn't really look like a passive house. This looks like a very contemporary, really cool looking Battersby Howitt designed house that also happened to be a passive house. So our challenges were to suit the architectural requirements and also suit the passive house requirements. The architecture wasn't really compromised, so to speak, for it to become a passive house. We applied passive house principles to a very contemporary and modern design.
The principles of passive house are passive solar heat gain, high thermal insulation, high performance windows, minimal thermal bridging, a very airtight envelope, and a balanced ventilation system with heat recovery. The project's located in West Vancouver, and a lot of the properties are south oriented and have a view towards the water, and so it's kind of the perfect setting for a passive house and would be an ideal passive house community. And say if you would have a project in the city, if like a tree or a neighboring house or the orientation are not advantageous, it's harder to achieve passive house than say at our project because of the orientation. I think the values for insulation that we need to meet are much more relaxed because of the optimal location to face south. I would say that from sort of an architectural point of view, the expression and detailing, we were able to push for what we wanted, and then everybody was very supportive in making that work.
In this case, we have a major view corridor to the south, and so that south facade is almost exclusively glazed. That glass limits the ability to put in either shear walls or seismic braces. And so the challenge from our end becomes to incorporate that glass, limit thermal bridging, and also have this building stand up in heavy winds or in an earthquake.
So now we've introduced you to our project. We've talked about the whats and whys of passive house. We've discussed the challenges and opportunities that passive house bring. So in our next episode, we're going to walk you through the foundations and footing pours of the project, which are both critical components to the passive house certification. So thanks for watching. Please give us a thumbs up if you liked this video.